Let me know if that's something you enjoy. This is part 3 of my introduction to my channel. And I apologize if you can hear noises in the background. I am living in a house with other people, so it's bound to happen from time to time. So, we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Since the 20th century, Western historians have disavowed the aspiration to provide the judgment of history. The goals of historical judgments or interpretations are separate to those of legal judgments that need to be formulated quickly after the events and be final. A related issue to that of the judgment of history is that of collective memory. Pseudo-history. Pseudo-history is a term applied to texts which purport to be historical in nature, but which depart from standard historiographical conventions in a way which undermines their conclusions. It is closely related to deceptive historical revisionism, works which draw controversial conclusions from new, speculative, or disputed historical evidence, particularly in the fields of national, political, military, and religious affairs, are often rejected as pseudo-history. Teaching. Scholarship versus teaching. A major intellectual battle took place in Britain in the early 20th century regarding the place of history teaching in the universities. At Oxford and Cambridge, scholarship was downplayed. Professor Charles Harding Fern, Oxford's Regius Professor of History in 1904, ridiculed the system as best suited to produce superficial journalists. The Oxford tutors, who had more votes than the professors, fought back in defense of their system, saying that it successfully produced Britain's outstanding statesmen, administrators, prelates, and diplomats, and that mission was as valuable as training scholars. The tutors dominated the debate until after the Second World War. It forced aspiring young scholars to teach at outlying schools, such as Manchester University, where Thomas Frederick Dowd was professionalizing the history undergraduate program by introducing the study of original sources and requiring the writing of a thesis. Seems I may have Thomas Frederick Dowd to thank for my history degree, for my history program. In the United States, scholarship was concentrated at the major PhD producing universities, while the large number of other colleges and universities focused on undergraduate teaching. A tendency in the 21st century was for the latter schools to increasingly demand scholarly productivity of their younger tenure-track faculty. Furthermore, universities have increasingly relied on inexpensive part-time adjuncts to do most of the classroom teaching. Nationalism. From the origins of national school systems in the 19th century, the teaching of history is to promote national sentiment. The teaching of history to promote national sentiment has been a high priority. In the United States after World War I, a strong movement emerged at the university level to teach courses in Western civilization, so as to give students a common heritage with Europe. In the US after 1980, attention increasingly moved toward teaching world history, or requiring students to take courses in non-Western cultures to prepare students for life in a globalized economy. At the university level, historians debate the question of whether history belongs more to social science or to the humanities. Many view the field from both perspectives. The teaching of history in French schools was influenced by the Nouvelle Histoire as disseminated after the 1960s by Cahiers Pédagogiques and Enseignement and other journals for teachers. Also influential was the Institut National de Recherche et de Documentation Pédagogique. Joseph Leaf, the Inspector General of Teacher Training, said children should learn about historians' approaches as well as facts and debate and dates. Louis François, Dean of the History and Geography Group in the Inspectorate of National Education, advised that teachers should provide historic documents and promote active methods which would give pupils the immense happiness of discovering. Proponents said it was a reaction against the memorization of names and dates that characterized teaching and left the students bored. Traditionalists protested loudly that it was a postmodern innovation that threatened to leave the youth ignorant of French patriotism and national identity. Bias in school teaching. In several countries, history textbooks are tools to foster nationalism and patriotism and give students the official narrative about national enemies. In many countries, history textbooks are sponsored by the national government and are written to put the national heritage in the most favorable light. For example, in Japan, mention of the Nanking Massacre has been removed from textbooks, and the entire Second World War is given cursory treatment. Other countries have complained. Another example includes Turkey, where there is no mention of the Armenian genocide in Turkish textbooks as a result of the denial of the genocide. It was standard policy in communist countries to present only a rigid Marxist historiography. In the United States, textbooks published by the same company often differ in content from state to state. An example of content that is represented different in different regions of the country is the history of the southern states, where slavery and the American Civil War are treated as controversial topics. McGraw-Hill Education, for example, was criticized for describing Africans brought to American plantations as workers instead of slaves in a textbook. Academic historians have often fought against the politicization of the textbooks, sometimes with success. In 21st century Germany, the history curriculum is controlled by the 16 states and is characterized not by super-patriotism, but rather by an almost pacifistic and deliberately unpatriotic undertone, and reflects principles formulated by international organizations such as UNESCO or the Council of Europe, thus oriented towards human rights, democracy, and peace. The result is that German textbooks usually downplay national pride and ambitions and aim to develop an understanding of citizenship centered on democracy, progress, human rights, peace, tolerance, and Europeanness. Just the references. Okay. It looks like we've completed the first article of this channel. A bit of a shorter video for you guys today, but I'll do my best to be back shortly with the next article. So, in the meantime, if any of you are out there, I would greatly appreciate a suggestion for our next topic. And if I don't get a suggestion before I post my next video, I'll take the liberty of reading one of my essays to you. You can also request that if you'd like. So, good night. Sleep well.